Чего? Где? Как в 90-е на плечо? Не может быть. Не, если маленькая колонка, это нормально.
чата присоединились, Командергут. К чату присоединились, Бананан-нанен. Здорово!
Welcome to the Acer Predator pre-show.
It's a journey we have been on for weeks. It started in pursuit of challengers, and from the challengers we managed to find legends, and now from the legends we look to declare champions. It is the champion stage of the major, kicking 2019 off with a very loud bang. The Spodek, of course, infamous for the noise, and they are in first day in that gorgeous arena that makes Katowice oh so special. And the casters do too, because I'm hanging out with them here. Your casters for the first game, Sadakist, Henry G.
Oh, we're doing it.
Boys, yeah, that's you. Happy to announce.
Glad I got out of bed then.
Yeah.
Jeez, that could have been really awkward.
But yeah, you guys have got a delectable treat at FaZe Na'Vi, but we're going to be talking a lot about that. But first, I want to use this kind of start of the show to kind of preface where we've been, because it has been a lot of Counter-Strike. I mean, I couldn't recall all of the matches off the tip of my tongue. I'm sure you couldn't either.
There's been so many maps, Alex, but they've all been so exciting. I think the main thing I want to shout out before we get into the teams and stuff like that is the format of this tournament. Really has delivered an amazing set of games here. At every major we've had in the past, we've always had the group of death or a best of one result that's turned the tide of battle throughout the format of the tournament. This time, it feels like we're almost perfect on this. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I think that the reseeding, the best of threes, I've said it throughout. Either one of those would have been a welcome change. To have both of them, we're now in a position where we've ramped up to a perfect playoff. And coming into this event, a lot of people ask, who are my top four? Well, the fact of the matter is, I can tell you my top four. In previous majors, there was no guarantee that they would make it because probably they play each other in the quarterfinals. You know, they might even have to play each other in an elimination match based on the randomness of the seeding system or the Swiss system. Now, I can tell you right now that the four I've called are still in, and they should be the ones that make it because it all makes sense.
And what makes me so happy as well is the only upsets, quote-unquote upsets, are from teams that severely underperformed. It wasn't a surprise win that everyone started ripping apart. Instead, it was a team not meeting the level they needed to be at.
And it's teams as well, like Renegades, a prime example, adapting to today's game. They're actually adjusting and making sure they bring the orgs out. One thing I've noticed as well, these guys, they've kind of moved away from the double org setup, which most teams haven't yet. If you look at NIP, you look at Renegades, they've had great success in this tournament because they're reducing the org factor and relying on their stars which are carrying them through. JKS hasn't picked up a second org barely at all, and he's been lights out for them. So I think that's a big take.
Yeah, of course, tomorrow Renegades will be taking on MIBR, but Renegades run, this is not a fluke, Matt. We've already praised the format. We have to just touch on the Australians because it was truly a form and unlike anything we've seen from that jersey before.
I think so, yeah, absolutely. There's no question about it. They put in a lot of work, and certainly were underrated going into the challenger stage. Looking back at it, no one would have known that, right? We hear all kinds of times that, you know, famously I Buy Power in 2014. We heard at this event as well with certain teams, Complexity, although they did show signs of it. They're amazing in practice. They're so good in practice, and it never translates because there's a lot of different factors that go into those games. Yeah. We are seeing it from them, and it's really nice to see them have such a great run. It's really nice to see them, first off, make it into the Legend stage because already they've avoided the minor, which has corrupted them in the past of going to other events. Yeah. So I think it's a great step for this organization, and it's nice to see some hard work and dedication from some of those players. Long-timers pay off.
It's about time at this stage as well, right? They've been working for a long time here, just trying to get the right recipe. They've always had great players, but never quite everything as a full unit. I feel like this is the first team we've had in about 2 years from them that actually looks deadly, and they could actually make it to a semi-final. That's the crazy thing.
They could, and on the other side of the court, you have Ents, who, admittedly, they performed, that's for sure, but it was through a trial of fire and punishment. I mean, these guys, they were, what was it, 0-2 down, 0-7 down. It was... to overcome that is testament to the diversity.
I feel like they potentially overperformed in previous segments of tournaments. Like the thing is, like we've got so hyped about them because they're doing so well at lower tier tournaments. We weren't really sure what they could do against elite teams.
Yeah, and with Alu on the team and certainly some of the personalities behind, I think it was romanticized because of that. It wasn't even just that like, oh, we overhyped them. It was like we really wanted to believe as well. So they were kind of victim of that.
But they did perform very well under pressure. They've got one of the youngest teams available. Players that are 16 years old playing at this stage of the tournament and actually 0-2 down, recovering to a 3-2 to make for this segment. That's pretty legendary stuff. That's really awesome to see them bounce back and have the mental fortitude to actually make it through.
Yeah, they'll be taking on Liquid. Now, of course, Liquid, a conversation in their own right.
That's a dicey one.
Would you say that's a different kettle of fish to the opponents you were just referring to?
I would say absolutely. They're looking for me, like they're in the conversation to take the whole thing home. Like they're in the top two. It's Astralis and them in my book who are going to be winning this thing. Liquid, I feel like their individual power and the great synergy they've had, they slowed their game down a little bit as well, focusing more on a bit of synergy and strategy. I feel like Ents are a great team, but they're not quite ready to take down those boys yet.
Stewie 2K joining the roster as well, Matt. From what you've seen, how you feeling?
So interestingly, I have some doubts about certain things. I think that slowing their game down is fine, but I think they still may not have figured out when the best time to use that is. It's like having a new trick. They want to show it off. They want to show everyone that they can do it, but sometimes it's not the appropriate place. And I think in some games they were actually a victim of playing a little bit too slow, where they were certainly better than their opponent. You know, against Astralis, if you want to slow it down and try and play tactics because you can't win the duels, great. Awesome that they have that. That might be a key to victory for them against Astralis. But if you're playing against a team that actually is going to just sit and wait, and they're the underdog, and you don't just use your speed and explosive skill, it could cost you. So I'm pleased so far with Liquid, but I do have a slight caveat. And I'll just throw in, Naf said he feels less confident at this event, this major, than he did in London. And I think that might be a good thing, because I think they got overconfident having beaten Astralis in the group stage there.
Absolutely, and of course confidence is going to be a big factor for ENCE if they want to go ahead and overcome them. That of course is coming up later today, as is FaZe Na'Vi. We start our champion stage with FaZe Na'Vi. Now before we get into any of that, Katowice is special for the Counter-Strike, it's special for the crowd, and it's special to a lot of people. Myself, of course, feel like I had a bit of a vault in my career as I stepped onto the Katowice soil, and indeed, many players feel the same. Let's hear what they're saying, and we'll get this show started.
I am Katowice is very special to me and to I think most players, just because like it's always been known as that like big IM event, like with the biggest crowd.
It just brings back like a lot of memories, I guess, of like the old times, like in CS like 4 years ago when Fnatic were really like #1 and NiP were #2.
Katowice IM is special to me because I believe that it is one of the biggest tournaments in CSGO.
Everybody who playing the IM Katowice here is happy.
Being here brings back all of those memories. Back then we didn't do so well, but you know, it's still like kind of really cool to be here because I've been here like multiple years now.
Katowice is really special. First, I mean, thanks to the Spodek Arena, I would say, because it's really amazing and it's a dream as a player to play here in the arena.
The crowd, the Spodek Arena, and yeah, just the atmosphere you have around this tournament.
I'm happy to be here since it's my first major and the first major of 3 of my teammates.
Olden days, like 1.6, and even the early CSGO days, we didn't have the biggest venue. Now we have the big stage, and it's pretty much filled, and all the crowd is really, really loud.
The audience, it's just the atmosphere surrounding the whole tournament is what makes it so incredible. So it's just going to be an honor to be playing here again.
I'm sure there's a lot of opinions as well here at the caster desk, or rather the analyst desk, excuse me. The casters are going to take their seats as they prepare for what will likely be a breathtaking best of 3. I'm your host, Alex Machine Richardson, and I am joined at this gorgeous desk by some gorgeous people, Jacob Pimp Vinegar and of course Chad Sponge Birchall. They used to go ahead and frag, and now they're just here to go ahead and talk about the frag.
Look, Alex, I've completely given up on the idea, but I know Jacob is flirting with it. He occasionally thinks about it. You see him glaring off into the distance, thinking about picking up the mouse and keyboard again. I see it.
Yeah, there's some longing, and I'm sure events like this, Katowice, it does ignite a bit of a spark for that.
It brings out the best in you, right? Everyone plays this game to be on that stage, to have that feeling sort of to play in front of a big crowd. And yes, you're right, Chad. You know, I think you can agree to that as well. When you see this, when you're in a stadium like this, you want to play, you want to be on that stage.
Yeah, this is what it's all about, that's for sure. And I think when you look at that speed session and you have Alexi B there, you know, this is the first time, mate, you're going to feel so many more emotions than what you just conveyed when you walk out to those legions of fans screaming.
That's my theory. I mean, I agree with you, but I mean, I also wonder what like Finnish reality TV shows like. How do they work?
Do they exist?
I don't know. I was hungry, so I had some food. Okay, cool. All right, well, that's the end of the show. No, it's not. We're going to be going and continuing to introduce you to this plethora of talent that is scouring Katowice at the moment. In fact, Frankie is standing by. Frankie, what are you going to be up to today?
Hello. Yes, I'm going to be lurking around backstage, talking to the players that unfortunately don't make it to the semi-finals. But apparently also, they might actually let me on the big stage itself, because unfortunately OJ's not joining us till tomorrow. So I'm just going to be keeping the microphone warm for him until then. And actually, I feel a little bit emotional because I just saw the trophy going past. So I might actually go and follow it. And I'm never allowed to touch a trophy, but this one I feel like they can forgive me if I give it a hug, Alex.
Yeah, we were looking at it for a while. It is absurdly shiny.
It's absolutely massive. I think it's taller than me.
Yeah, I challenge you to try and lift it. I don't know how the players do it, because I swear it's got some kgs.
Challenge accepted, Alex.
All right, while you go do that, we're going to continue to break this down. Thank you. That's Frankie Ward. She'll be talking to all the players and, of course, stepping onto that glorious stage that you will be seeing if you stay tuned. Now, guys, let's start at the top. If you haven't been following the major, that's fine. You've arrived for the very best bit, and we do have those brackets for you so you can understand exactly how things have shaped up. It started with the challenger stage where, of course, we saw 24 teams trying to battle it out. Then we came to the legend stage, and now we stand in the champions, and we have 2 teams going to be battling it out first of all. Of course, 8 in total. You can see them there on your screens. Na'Vi FaZe to kick things off, and Liquid ENCE later today. After that, you get to see MRBR Renegades and Astralis. They're all good for different reasons, Jacob.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the main focus points to take away from this bracket, that we have 4 very competitive matchups. Obviously, you have big favorites in Astralis taking on NIP, and arguably also MIBR Renegades. There's some doubt regarding that one, but all those matchups matchups are very competitive. They could go either way, considering how the teams have been performing so far in the tournament.
Yeah, and I think when Matt summed it up very well, you know, the favorites, they got through where we expected them to do, and the best bit is they're actually painted on the opposite sides of the bracket. So the run through this, it just feels like stepping stones. Everyone gets a chance to prove themselves, and we've also had the upsets, but the Renegades and Ents proving their worth in best of threes with deep map pools and really good Counter-Strike.
Well, really good Counter-Strike. Perhaps you might have to bite your tongue because the FaZe members themselves, they've been highly critical of their brand of Counter-Strike that they've been displaying. Sure, just about by the skin of their teeth getting to the champion stage, and they are not ashamed to admit that this hasn't been the best FaZe clan so far. So let's focus on them first as we get ready to start our first game.
Well, first of all, Robon was mostly just like motivation coach, I would say, and like kind of manager. So that was one of the reasons we wanted to have like a coach who's actually with the team trying to improve us, just basically being a sixth player. We will never want to remove Robon because he helped the team a lot, but he wanted to step down as well, so that was one of the reasons why we brought YNK. He's like way more strict, he's way more into the team, and he helps a lot now with having impact once we play the tournament. So that's, I would say, the most important thing we were lacking, just the guy behind us who's gonna say, like in some close match, okay, this is the gap, this is what we should do, because he can see clearer than me or whoever in-game leader is, because once you get to the close match you don't really see the whole picture, and that's what coach should have the best view and make the best call. After we removed Finn from the team, we just looked for a player who is like very complete, who can fit in any role in the team, because that's what we needed. That's why we picked up the Adrian, because he's that guy. He's just all-around player, and obviously he's very experienced, and we know he can help the team in many ways. We are still kind of new team. We are still trying to adapt to each other. We have just been together for 2 months, and it's still not sure what's going to happen after major, because they're like both Adrian and YNK. They're kind of on tryouts till the major. So, but it has been good so far. We didn't have any issues with neither of them. So we're going to see everything after this event. We were down 0-2 at the last major, and our team was just kind of down, and that's why we just did a change of something so people can get their confidence again on their level. And yeah, Kerrigan was also not feeling very confident in calling at that time, so he also proposed to changing the in-game leader, and that worked out well for us, and we just managed to get to the playoffs, and we put up a good fight against Astralis, which we usually don't. That was like one of the few times that we played very close against them. We were actually the only team who put up a good fight on the major against them, so that's why I kept being in-game leader for the rest of the year.
A roster of incredible players, not quite so incredible results. FaZe clan, yes, they've made changes, and yes, there's some trials. What would be your take so far? You've seen them play Counter-Strike, you guys have been watching them play. These trials, how are they working out, Jacob?
I mean, so far so good, I would say. I don't think we can expect too much from FaZe coming into this one. I think people out there need to understand how tough a position it is to be on a trial basis, especially if you're a player and also a coach, because if YNK knows that he's on trial, how does he come in here and form the team? Like, how much charge does he actually take, and how much is result-based? Sure. So in that regard, he has a very tough job on his hand, but so far so good. They made it to the playoff. They actually looked decent in the last match against Cloud9, so I wouldn't be too scared for FaZe so far.
Things have to get worse before they get better?
Sure, but you know, the core of this roster, you only get so many shots at greatness, right? And these guys, for them, winning is a disease. So they're in this position right now where, sure, you know, they've made it to the top 8. That's one goal ticked off the list. But they're going to want to go as far as they can. And having Na'Vi on the table, we know how up and down, we know how volatile that roster can be. This is a clear chance for them to potentially have a victory here. I don't feel like they could have, unless they had, you know, Renegades or Ents. There's probably no better opponent for, you know, the stars of FaZe to go up against.
Yeah, and of course the stars. It's worth covering that this is different. It's a major, and there's something to be said about that. Thousands upon thousands of Counter-Strike players have gone on record talking about how they want that major trophy. It feels like, you know, we're video game players at heart, we're completionists, and it feels like you dedicate your life to something for so long. It's the major, it's lifting that trophy with the crowd, with your brothers, that kind of makes you feel, right, there it is, I've done it. Maybe you want to do it again. Jacob, I'm sure, describing that you kind of want to get back on the mouse and keyboard, right? I mean, that's what it's all about.
The ultimate goal.
How long has Guardian been playing this game? How well has he played? How many finals has he been in? 3 major finals, no trophy in his hands. It's going to be a very intense game.
It's what we all strive for, Alex. It's what we all play for. When we sit at home 10 hours a day and we practice, we think of that major. We think of that stage where we want to go and we want to lift that trophy. That said, though, it's just a different environment. The pressure is different. Everything is different. So you get to see who's actually got the deal and who is one of those players who maybe is bowing under the pressure sometimes. I think Guardian is a great example, right? He's been in 3 major finals. It would be a shame if he goes on record not winning a major, because he deserves that as the player he's been.
Taken away from him, of course, by Cloud9 over in Boston. And that's a story for another time. One of the teams we lost along the way. Of course, so much resistance put up by so many teams, and some big names lost along the way as well. FaZe Na'Vi coming up, and a big name is exactly what we have for you next. On the other side of the server lies Simple, a man that needs no introduction, and I'm going to let him do the rest of the talking. Here he is. It's Simple, who sat down with Frankie.
It means everything, because first of all it's a major once again, so yeah, we just preparing and we're trying to be in shape before this match.
I read an article with Zeus, and he mentioned the main goal was getting through to the playoffs. So what's motivating you as a team right now?
I mean, it's not like a main goal, but it's our first step, because all of us understand it's pretty hard to go through to the playoffs nowadays, right? So yeah, just another event for us, another major. So we just want to show our beautiful Counter-Strike. We don't want to nervous or be shaky in our game. Just want to play on our 100% level.
Now in Legends, you were statistically the 3rd highest rated player of everyone. No surprises there, really simple. But it felt like you were playing a bit more carefully. So what can we expect from you today?
I don't know, I'm playing as my team gonna tell me. I understand all situations, and I know that if I'm gonna die, that it's gonna be pretty hard sometimes to win rounds. So I'm gonna show a team play once again. So I just want my team to play better, and I just want all of our players to shine game today.
Has Zeus got you on a tight lead?
Yeah.
I never thought I'd see the day, Simple. And finally, you're playing against FaZe for a spot in the semi-final. What did you think of their performance in Legends?
They played, I mean, they didn't show their A game, I think. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure that we deserve more to be in semi-finals than them, because first of all, they're playing with stand-in, and our team we are playing together for so long time, so I think we deserve it more, and just the strongest team gonna win.
Well, good luck, Simple. And also, thank you so much for ducking, because I am so much shorter than this gentleman. Even though I'm wearing massive heels, he's been ducking the entire time, and I appreciate that, Simple. Thank you. Let's head back to Alex and the boys on the desk.
Wow, there is actually so much in that interview that I would love to be covering, and I'm sure the guys over there do too. But, guys, we're going to be talking about it after the break, because before we can dig our teeth into it and jump into the pre-match, I want to quickly let you know about an enhanced viewing experience that is available to you. Come over here. I want to talk to you personally. You, over here. Come here. Yeah, no, never mind. Doesn't matter. It's called the Enhanced Viewing Experience, and you can go ahead and check it out. It's nice and easy. You can just go ahead and add _premium to the URL that you're already watching on. There you are. That's who I was looking for. Hi. You can go ahead and do it. It's nice and easy. It's interactive. You can click on players to see stats and other information. Bring up the scoreboard at any time you want, different minimap sizes, modes, and more. So that's just go ahead and add _premium if you fancy it, if you want to be looking at that top-down view, bird's eye view, and all that good stuff. And that's, of course, however you want to watch it. Now, we are going to be taking a break, but when we come back, Na'Vi versus FaZe, it's game time. We're going to be breaking it all down, looking through the maps, and jumping into the stadium. That's right, the Major kicks off its champion stage when we get back.
чата присоединились, host подчеркивание giveaway.
Navi is probably like one of the most experienced teams out there, and obviously they have the best player in the world last year, which is simple, and obviously they have Electronic as well out there with him, and when they're on the fire, they can beat any team.
Best Clan is really strong individual players, like Adrian, Nico, Rain, all of Guardian. Everybody is really on the high level. You should be focused 100% against them all the time during the match.
It's very hard to anti-strat them or do anything because they just always come up with something new. We're not going to prepare for them, we're just going to prepare ourselves because they have that individuals and they're just playing around them, so it's very hard. We are just feeling very confident against them.
We also have really high individual players like Simple, Electronic, Flamey, but we want to play more team play, more strategically. Two different teams, two different play styles will fight against each other, and it's going to be interesting to watch.
People are going to be bringing families, friends, girlfriends, so playing for this crowd and them, it's just amazing feeling, and I just hope we're going to be lifting trophy this time.
When we have a match, my eyes can't see anything except the monitor and screens, but I believe, I know that the Polish people really, really love CS, and they're going to create some really, really good atmosphere. It's going to be nice.
Vodafone presents the pre-match.
It's time to get our hands dirty. Na'Vi versus FaZe. Nico, you cheeky bean, best player in the world last year. Yes, 2019, a new year. We'll see if Simple has that same form or if Na'Vi's style has changed. A big discussion to point so far from players and analysts alike is Na'Vi's play style, and I think that's where I want to start this conversation. You rewind back all the way back to Counter-Strike in its infancy. Na'Vi was a name you knew, and Na'Vi was this slow, chokehold style of play that, you know, running the clock down, 5 seconds left, suddenly there's 2 flashes in your smoke, in the smoke, and the bomb's down. Look, are we still there?
That definitely changed a bit, right? When Zeus went over to Gambit, he was in-game leading there and then came back to Na'Vi, it changed, right? Because he has different pieces of the puzzle. Electronic joined this team on the 6th of November in 2017. They played 284 maps together. They're the longest standing roster in the top 8 right now. So they do have a lot of experience, and I think Zeus is doing a lot better job now of using the tools, right? He's constantly evolving as an in-game leader, and some of the unique things that they do, because, look, Zeus is a weakness in terms of mechanical skill compared to the other players. They have a couple of unique setups they're doing these maps that you guys will see as the games progress, where they kind of puff up their chest to dissuade players from going to the bomb sites where Zeus is holding in the early stages, and then allowing Simple and Electronic to just have their way with them.
And they did reference that, you know, Flamey, Simple, Electronic, and particularly Flamey.
Yes.
This hasn't been a conversation for many events now. Flamey, top of the scoreboard, often for Na'Vi.
He's been very impactful in this tournament. It seems like the old Flamey that we predicted to be one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
I remember back when I was playing in 14, this kid was absolutely insane, and Epoxy was insane when you played gathered against him. And coming into this tournament, it seemed like Flamey has found a new level to himself for some reason. Not really sure what it is, but he has been looking to pick up the secondary AUG for Na'Vi as well. He's been very impactful with that as well. So it seems like he's a little bit more free in the way that he plays right now. He's been given more freedom, so to speak, by Zeus, and I think that's a great sign for Na'Vi.
Free Flamey, Chad?
Yeah, it looks like he's been playing a couple of new positions where he's finding a lot of success. But the thing with this matchup is he has to return because he's going up against another team of Titans in FaZe, right? These guys, you heard Edward list those names. They're all daunting. They're all very scary. You've got Olaf, who has 2 major titles under his belt. You've got Adren, obviously, who in this trial period, he has a major title under his belt. So there's some scary names on both sides of the server.
And I'll tell you what else is scary, is standing at this analyst desk and having to try and make sense of how the veto is going to play out.
Oh yeah, I tried to theory craft it a little bit before, because here's the thing.
7 maps in the pool.
Yeah, and FaZe have been allowing nuke through a lot of the time, right? And that is a new thing for FaZe. That's not a map that historically, that's their permaban, and they've been floating it, which tells me they've been practicing it. But when you look at these two lineups going toe to toe, it feels like it's just going to be middle of the road maps because of that skill. It allows the individuals to play around a bit more. The Dust 2s, Mirages, Infernos, not Cache, because Na'Vi are going to be banding that bad boy out. But those 3 maps feel like, you know, the standard ones for a series like this.
And FaZe have found some confidence on Nuke as well, Jacob. Their permaban, we've seen them play it here in Academy.
Yeah, I mean, them allowing Nuke to be in the map pool is definitely an interesting thing. I think that gives them a good opportunity here to remove Train, which is one of the maps you do not want to face Na'Vi on. So I think that's a great thing for them. To me, that tells me that FaZe have been working on the map pool. They actually come into this tournament a little bit more prepared than you would think, which is a good thing for them when they go into these deep best-of-3 scenarios.
Train cash.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see an overpass ban from FaZe. It feels like they're leaning away from that in recent times too, but obviously scared of that Train. They're going to go with an Inferno pick, which hasn't looked super convincing so far for really either team. It's like a middle of the map pool, right? But FaZe must have found some weaknesses they want to exploit.
And that was where FaZe fell to Renegades, let's not forget, earlier in this competition. Mirage, and it does look like Nuke will be removed by Na'Vi. They did float it.
Well, FaZe lost on Mirage to Avantgarde, I believe it was, right? So
Renegades.
Was it the Renegades one on Inferno?
Renegades was Inferno, Mirage to Avantgarde.
Yes. So, you know, there's two, I guess, weaknesses, but FaZe have clearly been ramping up in this tournament. And for the third map to be Dust 2, that's where it's super brawly, right? That's where the AWPers take over and it gets action-packed.
The thing with that Inferno pick from FaZe, I actually kind of like it, because yes, they did lose against Renegades, but they did win both pistol rounds and lost the following second round in both of those halves. So had they been able to convert those rounds into wins, they probably would have ended up with a win against Renegades. So looking a little bit deeper into it, FaZe and Inferno is not by any means a weak matchup.
And also, it's one of those maps where you kind of describe that CT side just by listing players, right?
Yeah.
Like, which side do you want to push?
Feels like a bit of a wall, but that T side is where I want to focus, Alex. And we actually got something that we can look at on the telescope if we have time.
I don't know if we do.
No, this could be a bit of a problem.
I'll give you 30 seconds.
All right, I'm going to do it as quick as I can.
Go on.
This is the old setup from Na'Vi right here that you can see on the screen. You've got over towards B, Edward, and Simple. Your best player, Simple, is the anchor, but the new setup they've been running actually has Zeus over towards B. They've also got Flamey over there as the anchor. Electronic still doing his lovely job in pit. Edward is in swing helping everybody out, and Simple gets to prod and poke across the map wherever he wants, but this B site could be exploited, and this is how. This is a strat we've actually seen from FaZe earlier in the tournament. We're going to play this one out. I'll fast forward it a bit. You're going to see this. It's a smoke. This is a deep smoke that lands at CT spawn from Nico, and what happens behind this is his teammates are going to use a flow of flashes that you're going to see get thrown up banana, and they rush on in and they pounce on this player. I should probably clear the flames away, make that a bit easier for everybody to see. And this is something we can see get used on the B bomb site against Zeus and Flamey.
Time. Nice. Beautiful work. You can watch those flashes play out.
I didn't clear the screen, so I should be...
You didn't ruin it. Flamey was just catching the smoke Nico was throwing.
Okay. That's fine.
An aggressive CT smoke from Spawn. Not often something you see.
Yeah, and if they're leaving Flamey over towards that bomb site on his own a lot, that's a strat that we could see come out. But both teams really fight for banana control.
Guys, you know what that means.
Oh.
The stage is set, and its beauty is only surpassed by the anticipation in the Spodek. I can hear you. Hello, Spodek. God damn, there's a lot of people, and that is just the first day. Don't forget, it gets all the more spicy. It's time to get IEM Katowice CSGO Major Championship underway.
Siema, Spodek! Guys, I really genuinely was planning for this to be short, but it might not be. I apologize, because I think there are a few important things to say. Speaking of important things, I was asked this week in an interview question, what was my most important moment in the Intel Extreme Masters? For me, the answer is easy. It's the 2011 semi-final in Counter-Strike. Back in when the finals were in Germany, two teams played an extremely, extremely tough game. They went to hell and back to try to come out victorious at the end. And when one team won and the other team lost, the superstar on the losing team fell to his knees, put his face in the ground, couldn't believe it. The players on the winning team started crying, couldn't believe it, picked up their phones, started calling their loved ones, talk to them about what happened. And it wasn't the money. There wasn't so much money back then. It was just a semi-final. It wasn't the fame. It was not as many people as watch Counter-Strike today. It wasn't even on stage. The reason the players felt that way is because of that feeling inside a competitor. When you find your boundaries, and in order to be better than somebody else. You have to cross to the other side and find the better version of you. And this is a feeling that is probably the best feeling in the world. Because this is a feeling that nobody can give you. You have to fight for it. You have to earn it. You have to be stubborn. You have to persevere. You have to put your life towards achieving that goal. And you have to make sacrifices. This is why some people, for that feeling, dedicate their entire life to feel that feeling over and over and over again, because this is what champions do. Well, this week, or at this event, 2 Intel Extreme Masters champions suffered a personal tragedy. One player lost his father. One player lost his mother. But they chose to be here. Because in order to be the best, they had to be here this week. Not next week, not the week after that. They have to be here this week in order to be the best. They chose to stay because together with other people, they were chasing the same dream. And they chose not to fail those people. Now, I don't know, I have no idea what it takes to do what they did. I can't possibly imagine. But I wanted to take this opportunity while I'm here on stage to honor their sacrifice. Because what they did is what champions do. Now, all the players here, they committed their entire lives to be here this week and be the best version of themselves this week. When you watch them compete, please remember, please think of all the possible sacrifices that they made in order to be here. I wish all of you that this major is the best major of all time, the most entertaining week that you've ever had in your lives. And that when you go home, please remember to tell your father and tell your mother that you love them. Thank you.
20 years, Counter-Strike has been at the forefront of competitive gaming. Standing the test of time, CSGO represents the epitome of what esports can be. From online matchmaking at home to veteran rosters backed by major organizations, esports has united a generation under its banner. Olaf Meister, Get Right, NBK, Kenny S, Fallen, Device, Adren, Stewie 2K. Like Counter-Strike itself, all of these names have shared humble beginnings. But it is through you, not only as fans, but as players yourself, that esports has grown into what it is today. This is your major. And now, presenting the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice Major Championship Trophy. A man who has plowed his way to the top of the Counter-Strike world. With an elite legacy, through his drive and a passion for the game, he has inspired countless others to rise up and begin their own journeys. It's our pleasure to welcome this Polish powerhouse and IEM champion to the Spodek stage one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our friend, Pasha Biceps. Championship stage of the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice Major is now officially open. This journey began with over 1,000 teams from around the world competing in an endurance run to the top. Of all those who embarked on this path, now only 8 remain. Here in the Spodek, these newly crowned legends will compete for the one major championship trophy. Led by a major winner and powered by the world's best player, these heroes of CIS Counter-Strike are here to win their first major title. Please welcome the reigning ESL 1 Cologne champions, Natus Vincere.
Покинули чат, бананен нанен.
Their opponents, with the only remaining legend of every major championship, they are a team with a legacy spanning the history of the game. Though they have faltered from the precipice of greatness, here they leap into the fray to reclaim their place atop of the world of CS. Entering the Spodek, it is FaZe Clan.
One of our sponsors, Game Fuel Power Plays. They want you to get involved. Do be sure to do it. Head over to social media with the hashtag Game Fuel Power Play. You'll be able to get involved and call out the plays during the series that you are most enjoying. A moving speech from Carmack, though. My goodness, if that didn't get your tear ducts going, I don't know what will.
Yeah, it wasn't the emotional start to the day I was expecting. I thought it would just be exciting, but that's what Counter-Strike does, right? This is such an emotional game for so many people, and we've all been a part of this for such a long time. You can see what it means to Pasha. They're just delivering that trophy in front of the home crowd.
Yeah. I mean, he was talking about that Frag Executors game, and I've seen that footage again and again. It's like Taz just burying his face in the floor. Disbelief, and I mean, this is what's on the line. Sure, the lights are a bit brighter and the stage is a little bigger, perhaps the crowd's a little louder, but there is not much more that separates then from now. It is still all about that championship mindset that Carmack was talking about, and now we have two titans of the game in unpredictable form about to clash.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle, Alex. You gotta live Counter-Strike. You gotta dedicate your entire life if you want to be sitting on that stage they're sitting on right now. And as you said, two teams that coming into this one is not necessarily in top shape, but both of them have actually shown throughout this major so far that they can play Counter-Strike to a high level.
Yeah, the more and more I watch Na'Vi play, the more convinced I get about the little things that they do. You know, these little micro decisions, the way that they play around Zeus and allow their superstars to frag. Look, we put a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Simple and Electronic, Flamey stepping up to the plate. On the other side of things, all 5 members of that team can get it done. And that's the blessing and the curse of superstardom right here, right? You have to think about this. These players need to show up, and Olof is a name for FaZe who hasn't been delivering so far.
Yeah, Olof, I mean, the statistics that I imagine will tell the whole story. It's not been his best major. He actually took to social media to acknowledge that, saying that he feels like he's been carried to this point. But it's a new day. It's not. It's the same game he's been a king of in the past. I wouldn't write him out.
That said, though, he was playing a great game against Cloud9 when they were facing elimination, when they had backs against the wall, and when they had to win, he was stepping up and playing a good game.
Well, this is where he does his best work, right? Yeah. On the stage, in front of the fans. He's won 2 majors before. He knows what it takes. So this step right here, just this quarterfinal, this matchup right now, in my opinion, is going to be probably the most explosive of all the quarterfinals just because of the players in the server. The fact that neither team backs down. They like to force buy. They like to keep the pressure on. You know, you see FaZe win a pistol. If they lose the force buy, they're straight back in there. They don't want to concede. And the same thing can be said for Na'Vi and their evolution. Get the AKs early. Get them in the hands of Electronic. Get them in the hands of Simple. And let them show why they are some of the best Counter-Strike players in the world.
What a feeling it must be. You sit at that stage. It's the same thing you stare at every day during practice, but this time so much more on the line. Doing your final checks, doing that little bit of warm-up, shooting those bots for just a little bit longer as you prepare for a tall task. The toughest one yet.
Yeah, Edwards said in that interview before that all he sees is the screen. Well, if he can do that,
that's incredible.
That is insane because you're so vulnerable out there. Everybody, the fans can see every little emotion you have, right? You're in front of these people performing to show that you're the best. This is what it's all about. And when we move into Inferno, the first map, this is normally the end of a best of 3, right? This is this is where we're starting to kick it off. And you know, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but both of these teams really love putting pressure on those B bomb sites. That banana is going to be the highly contested part of this whole map.
And you think about it, it's not just going to be the nades, Jacob. You describe an angel, pick a name from either side, it's always going to be spicy.
I mean, when you have the best player in the world of 2018, you have the second best in the world for 2018, going toe-to-toe against each other, what more do you need for an entertaining and fun Counter-Strike game, Alex?
Yeah, simple. I mean, his interview earlier, he did allude to a couple of factors that have been a part of Na'Vi's success, more of a team-based Counter-Strike than what he's used to.
And it looks that way, right? He's been moved around to different positions. He's now on that arch side, and what that allows him to do as an individual is poke and prod a little bit more across the map. If he wants to go apps with Electronic and go aggressive for a kill, he wants to cheat over towards B, that's allowed. The T sides, though, he's throwing a lot of supportive flashes. That's to allow Zeus and Electronic to establish banana control. All those things are changes, right? You usually expect Simple to the man running on in. He's the point guard. The fact here is, FaZe on their T side, they like to go up mid and get arch control because it's a place for open duels. It lets their aim take place, but that's where Simple's holding now, so I'm not sure if their game plan's going to change.
I mean, you can't play the avoid Simple game. We've had that conversation before, Jacob.
Yeah, definitely, and especially because Flamey has been so strong.
He's on the other side.
He's now moved over to the other side, and then you have a guy like Electronic who used to be, if not the best, then one of the best pit players in the entire world. I would argue that only Magic's boy from Astralis is better in that position than Electronic. So having such stable players spread out all over the map, that must be part of the reason why Na'Vi decided to change the setup, have Simple in a more fluent role, have Electronic to be the anchor on that bomb side and Flamey on the other. I think Na'Vi put in a lot of thought to that setup, and so far it seems to be working.
Less restrictions on Simple on that CT side, Inferno. You don't know where he's going to be, and that is a terrifying prospect. Your final thoughts, Chad? We're about to be jumping in.
I think this one, like I said before, Alex, is going to be the best quarterfinal we get. It's about the players who show up in the server right now, and I actually think this first map It's going to go in the way of Na'Vi.
You're calling it to Na'Vi. Let's not forget Inferno, the first of this best of 3, picked by FaZe Clan, which surprised us. But either way, Yenko, of course, standing behind him. I imagine the fist bumps are coming. And it is time for us to get this one started. Your quarterfinal.
К чату присоединились комьюнити Шалкаса.
2019, the first quarterfinal. It's gonna be a bloodbath. Some of the best in the world now clash for a spot in the semi-final. The trophy in the center of the stage and the round soon to be live. Henry G, Sadakist. It's a delectable Counter-Strike treat and it's all yours, fellas.
Thank you so much, Alex. Here we are in the quarterfinal, two absolute behemoths of the Counter-Strike world, about to lock horns. Bring me the energy, bring me the hype, let's make some noise as we kick things off this Spodek Arena. FaZe Clan making their way towards the B side of the map, and the CTs will have to fall back, detecting the threat on the other side, but FaZe aren't slowing down here, map.
Not at all. Keep in mind, Chad pointed out the change in guard on the B site, that it could be exploited. In this pistol, Simple's already over there. He's behind the smoke. He's fallen off. That may not be true when the guns are brought out, but for now it certainly is. The first kill, though, goes the way of Flamey. He already has the pistol. It's just enough to cut off one on the retake, but the bomb already planted for Na'Vi, and they just have to hold it off. That's not hard. Flamey's got another. It's going to be extremely difficult if Simple can get around from coffins without being
К
spotted.
чату присоединились Банана Нанем.
They're both gone for Nemo, and they're going to push it all together. Rain can't do enough. Just to Nico. Third in the world last year, but he's got it to a one-on-one. Bombs deep. He's got a swing. They know that. Flamey. What a pistol, an ace. He gets an ace. Welcome to Spodek, everybody.
Unbelievable scenes. FaZe with the early commitment towards B. We saw that early smoke towards Spawn. They also get it down towards the coffins. The bombs, the kills are coming through, but Flamey takes down every single player. There's been question marks about his career over 2018. Did he still have it in him? And a resounding yes is found in the pistol round to kick off this quarterfinal. 5 kills. His teammates didn't even need to chime in at all. That's absolutely ludicrous. And to see him now find them one by one. And FaZe with the bomb down there, they could be tempted to buy up into this round, but I suspect we'll go for the AKs in the third and have everything they need. But what a way to kick it off.
And that bomb being so deep as well, Nico couldn't just take the shoulder peek. He had to wrap in. Flamey read that perfectly. This round, they do go to what was talked about, so it is going to be Flamey and Zeus on Banana. Flamey gets aggressive. Talk about Simple being the anchor, the best player on the team, sure, undisputedly. Electronic, he's going to always stay toward the pit, no question about it. But Flamey, if he's hitting shots out like that already, an ace to start things off, B's not going to be exploited at all.
Quite the statement. Here we have the Deagles here, and Rain pretty handy with them, it seems. He'll take down Zeus. Too aggressive there, perhaps, but Flamey does pick up the pieces. That's now 6 kills in 2 rounds. As it'll be Edward looking towards corner. That's a guaranteed frag for him. Dren goes down. And at this point, Na'Vi have the advantage. They don't have to overcommit. Flamey, I guess he's in the zone at this point, man. He wants to just keep finding headshots, and he's delivering as he keeps finding players as well. That's Nico being dropped. It's a 4 versus 2, and that's going to push them back towards middle. They have 1 smoke remaining here, but I don't think they'll be finding any more frags.
Crossfire firmly set up inside of the smoke. Edward's actually going to hold aggressively. It's going to dissipate. Soon will realize they're there, but he realizes it in the wrong way. Guardian with a spectacular shot, all resolved. 2 SMG kills, that'll build up the bank for both Electronic and Simple. And now we go 2-0. 1 bomb plant, obvious decision.
The AWP is coming out early, I can confirm that. Guardian brings it out on the T side here on Inferno. Wolfmeister drop it, but still has enough for his armor and the AK. No grenades on him, but how powerful Guardian can be. One of the few AWPers that has tremendous impact on the T side of this map. They're up against the SMGs here, and you can see Na'Vi sending 3 players towards B. They're going to...
Ой, а у меня что, трансляция идет? Ема. Лол.
Привет.
Привет.
Покинули чат.
2, 3.
Коммунити Шаукаса.
Это сравнение, да?
Чё с читами гоняешь?
Да это не я. Подозреваемый. А, нифига себе. Он еще и попасть не может. Офигеть. Как его колбасит. Не, ну это однозначно. Помощь в прицеливании. Короче, здесь просто полный фарш.
АФ.
Да, выхаю. Это тут бессмысленно. Крутилка. Ну, кстати, он не препятствует нормальной игре. То есть там... Капец, у меня же глаза. Ой, я не могу на это смотреть, у меня. Вот это... Сейчас выстрел будет. Тут слишком картинка туда. Почему он сыскал-то? Я типа... Интересно.
Как дела?
Нормально. О, это он впытал... А, не. Я в шоке, ребят. Максимально в шоке. Он даже бомбу не ставит, но...
Поп.
Почему он задом ходит? Не, бэхопа вроде я не заметил. Хотя, может, и есть. Ну, я не знаю. Я просто на выходе.
Такое чувство, что картинка лагает.
Все, неужели это кончилось? Так, значит, препятствие нормальной игре. Он не препятствовал нормальной игре, то бишь, ну... Достаточно. Скрипты на автоматические прыжки, поворот экрана. А вот поворот экрана были, ребят. Да. Сквозь стены есть. И, конечно же, наведение на цель есть. То есть, видите, тут есть убедительно, если уверен, что... Нет, тут, короче... ну, точно будет мой вердикт, то дополнительный опыт дадут. Мне уже давали, я его потратил. У меня сейчас просто ежедневный бонус. Так, что, катаем ММ, наверное. Катнуть разочек. Я вчера, короче... А, вчера я 2 слил. Я даже не знал, что у нас читаки были. Сегодня захожу утром. Участник лобби заблокирован. Ну и типа там написано же то, что игру-то откатили, звание тоже, там все это откатили, короче. Я так и не понял, где читак был. Либо вот это 3112. А давайте, кстати, посмотрим профиль. Вот. Нет, он не читер. Нет, Вака нет, он в сети сейчас. Че, у меня мобильник зарядился уже? Нет. 96%. Блин, Гайдар в GTA пошел. Без меня, крыса. Ой, меня кто-то в друзья хочет добавить. Что за человек меня в друзья хочет добавить? Друзья. Заявки. Вера Полякова. Ну, у нее на стене. Я не удивлен, ребят. Значит, пожаловаться. Пусть будет спам. То есть, типа... Да, это спам, ребят. Прям максимальный спам. У них Тима! Видали, у них ЗГДТС.
Покинули чат. Командир Гуд.
Почему она не добавляет, я не понимаю. Отменить заявку. Обновляю. Добавить в друзья. Да этот человечек. Всем привет.
Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Russian team.
Don't rush, guys. Don't rush.
Я ВК не поменял название. Блин. И Rush пошел.
ЗЦТС. ТС.
Чё? ЗГДТС? Да. Но тут даже гласной буквы нет. ЗГТС у них. ЗГТС. А вот Д типа. У них же Д там, да, еще есть. Блин, рыжий так стоит. Да ладно, бота убили.
Привет.
А что я написал? Привет, привет. Я написал, короче. Где я написал?
Как дела?
Нормально. А, вот я написал. Ран. Нормально дело. Ах. Спаун. Так.
Хорош в КС играть, я тебе вагдам.
Ага, удачи. Вот и все.
О май гад! О май гад!
А, ну в принципе я пока скопирую ссылочку. Team, my streamer, me streamer. I am streamer. Даня, видишь, как надо? Вот этот запах, так сказать.
Don't rush.
Как это? Пиарится. Во, что они там вообще пишут? Граффити Go. Нифига себе, нам все в наклейках. Good game.
One have low HP. Okay, okay.
Nice rush, рыжий. Русские вообще есть?
К чату присоединились, Commander Good.
Кто зашел в стимовский стрим? Шаман. Ба. Чего? Подожди, сейчас.
Sorry. Yo, go, go.
Есть.
Take AVP. Thanks for AVP.
Окей. Я не купил Зевс. Тут тоже закупаться можно.
Full take AVP.
2205.
Nice.
Time, please. Oh my god.
1 second, man.
Да, жалко. Orange. Orange. Gun.
Thanks. One cap low HP.
The versus them is sure.
Oh my god.
Nice.
I play for you. Shift.
Надо было тебе высморкаться и намазать. Сидит он там, чихает.
Mid, look mid. Atom, back, go back. Atom, go back. Yes. Look. Nice.
30 HP on long. Throwing fire.
Hostage has been rescued. Counter-terrorists win.
Thanks, man. I drop. Yellow. Okay.
These are our hostages. I'm throwing smoke. Smoke. I'm throwing a flashbang.
Long AVP.
Terrorists win.
Nice. Thanks, man.
Thanks, dude. The world is ours.
Blue, right?
Fire in the hole.
Good.
You can't tame the beast. We got your number. Burn.
AFK check.
Nice. Thanks.
No one's stopping us. Yep. Decoy.
О май гад. О май гад.
Thanks.
I'm throwing a grenade. I'm throwing smoke. Smoke. Grenade. Fire in the hole. Throwing fire. Grenade. I'm throwing a flashbang. Flashbang. Smoke. Throwing a flashbang. I'm throwing a grenade. Molotov. Throwing a flashbang. I'm throwing smoke.
Nice, good job, team.
Ага.
Where did you think you were going? Yeah, sure.
Ranks.
My ranks?
Ага.
Silver 6, I eat Smurf. I have AK.
Ага, yes. Окей.
I long time no play.
Покинули чат. Командер Гуд. чата присоединились, Commander Good.
Flashbang. Flashbang. Let's go. Throwing smoke. Deploying flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Flashbang.
Team time. Nice. Play full.
Can you keep me?
Чё, кто сказал?
Play full.
Let's go. Grenade out. Throwing flashbang. Smoke. Throwing flashbang.
К чату присоединились Slick 3R1.
Molotov. Grenade out. Throwing a grenade. Fire. Flashbang.
Two HP.
Throwing flashbang. Hostiles coming out.
One guy is.
Ура! А ты не мог направо пойти?
Oh my god. Okay, team, rush.
Move it. Move it. Flashbang. Deploying flashbang. Fire in the hole. Deploying flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Throwing smoke. Grenade. Throwing fire.
Okay.
Nice. Take AVP, take AVP. Thanks. Thanks. Drop you? I might drop you. No? Okay.
Careful. Let's all make it home tonight. Flashbang. Flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Deploying flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Smoke. Throwing a grenade. Deploying flashbang. Throwing fire. Laying down smoke. Flashbang.
Go, go, blue.
I'm bringing the hostages out. Throwing smoke.
Fast, blue.
Hostage has been rescued. Counter-terrorists win. Nice. Laying down smoke. Smoke. Throwing flashbang.
Go, go, go.
Flashbang. Fire. Throwing flashbang. Throwing a grenade. Hostages coming out.
Blue help и orange. Отлично.
Escorting the hostages. Lock and load. Throwing smoke. Deploying flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Laying down smoke. Smoke. Laying down smoke. Grenade out. Deploying flashbang. Molotov. Fire. Fire in the hole. Throwing flashbang. Throwing a grenade. I'm bringing the hostages out. Flashbang. Rolling fire.
Quick game.
Drop orange. Orange. Drop AVP тут.
Покинули чат, Slick 3R1.
Two AVP drop, так?
Да, yes, yes. Оу.
Rushing, be careful.
Окей, окей.
Throwing flashbang. Throwing smoke.
Back, purple.
Grenade.
Back.
Покинули чат, Commander Good.
Purple. Let's go.
Escorting the hostages.
Fast.
Покинули чат, P0 Security Bot.
Окей, go, purple.
Fast.
Please, fast. Fast. No, no.
Nice. No, 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 no rush.
Да.
Atom, please drop me M4.
Drop.
Thanks.
Grenade out. Throwing fire. Deploying flashbang. Smoke.
Nice orange. Ой, orange, yes.
Oh yeah, laying down.
Thanks.
Check chat. Orange, check chat, окей?
Coming out.
Terrorists win.
К чату присоединились Commander Good.
Go people. Grenade out.
Please, next round.
Throwing smoke. Flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Smoke. Throwing a grenade. Deploying flashbang. Fire in the hole. Molotov. Throwing fire. Grenade. Flashbang.
Ой, сори,
Здорово.
orange. Здорово.
I'm bringing the hostages out. Laying down smoke.
Nice, green. Go, go, purple. Go, 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 go. Diffuse, green. No diffuse. Отлично, good.
Take.
Чё играешь?
CSGO, чё?
Grab your gear. Let's go.
Граффити.
Throwing a grenade.
Раши. А, это синий кинул.
Flashbang. Throwing smoke.
One have low HP.
Окей.
Throwing flashbang. Grenade. Molotov.
Terrorists win.
А, он своего убил. Я думал, я его убил.
is out. Grenade out. Deploying flashbang. Throwing smoke. Throwing flashbang. Throwing a grenade. Fire. Flashbang. Grenade out. Smoke.
Green, no.
Flashbang.
Good. Лучший.
Flashbang. Fire in the hole. Laying down smoke. Throwing flashbang.
No.
Нормально. Да. Nice ranks. Так, я хочу что-нибудь. Так, ну в принципе стрим вообще можно закончить, потому что еще в 5-й, наверное, пойду. Поэтому всем пока.